Hello, and this is the Progressive Cynic. In this video, I'll be discussing the John McCain poker scandal and how it relates to a larger problem in the United States. Now, there are photos circulating of John McCain playing internet poker on his phone during a Syria intervention meeting. This meeting is one of several where politicians were discussing the possibility of an intervention in Syria or maybe even a full involvement by the United States. As such, it is incredibly important as it could put American lives in jeopardy and cause us to waste massive amounts of money. One would think that our politicians would pay a little bit of attention during such a meeting, but apparently John McCain disagrees with that. Now, I'm not going to say this is some vital scandal where John McCain did something unforgivable, but it is indicative of a much larger and more serious problem. Our legislators are not doing their jobs, and I mean that literally. In 2013, 15 bills have passed through both houses of the legislature and been sent to the president's desk. Now, several of these bills have been important, although they were no-brainers. Of these bills, two of them were very vital. One was the defense of, one of them was the, Hurricane Sandy Relief Bill, and the other was the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act for 2013. Both of these are immensely important and, well, they needed to pass. Other than these, most of the other bills that were passed through the legislature were absolutely irrelevant. I mean, one of them was H.R. 1071, to specify the size of the precious metal blanks that will be used in the production of the National Baseball Hall of Fame commemorative coins. Yes, that is 1/15 of what our federal legislature has managed this year. I mean, it's unsurprising that Washington is not working. I mean, in addition to having an extreme partisan divide, they simply haven't been going to work. In 2013, the legislature has 239 scheduled days off. And apparently they're not willing to break this because when the Syria situation erupted, they didn't cut their vacation short. So they're fairly set on having this wonderful number of vacation days. A 239-day vacation in a 365-day year, that's unbelievable. That means they will be working for 126 days this year. That's roughly a third of the year. And don't get me wrong, I understand that all legislators need to go home, talk to their constituents, and, well, unfortunately, schmooze with their donors. It's part of what they do. But that's unreal. You're not getting your work done, and then you go on vacation for 5 weeks or so. I mean, they took the entire month of August off, despite the fact that they hadn't passed a budget, and they expect people not to complain when people hear that they have huge benefits and fairly massive salaries. Washington is not working because they're simply not there. I mean, it's an embarrassment. These people are absent, and they're like Nero fiddling or on the violin while Rome is burning. I mean, we're not to the point of actually burning. I mean, unless you're in California, in which case disaster aid might be very, very nice right about now. But we're on a slow and steady decline. The debt is increasing. It looks like we'll be going into another war. We still haven't addressed many of our problems. We still have the sequester to deal with, which is crippling some education and low-income healthcare programs. I mean, there are things which actually need to get done, and Washington's not doing it. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a purely partisan issue. Republicans are bad. Democrats are also fairly bad on this. I mean, put plainly, our current legislators in Washington are absent. They need to actually do their job. And here's John McCain's defense to him being caught playing poker. Scandal. Caught playing iPhone game at 3+ hour Senate hearing. Worst of all, I lost. Now this ties into they should do their jobs, and that, yeah, a 3-hour Senate hearing is part of your job. If you can't do it, or if you feel the desire to play poker during it, perhaps you should quit and let someone who actually wants to do the job take over. I mean, there are plenty of people who would be willing to sit through a 3+ hour meeting. Oh my God, that sounds awful. If it would mean doing something good for the country and getting the kind of benefits that the average senator gets for their work. Stop taking a vacation. Stop bickering over pointless things. And start doing the nation's work, Congress. I mean, we deserve it. Thank you. This has been The Progressive Sin.